Right, something different. This is going to be a virtual yearling tease for the Sydney-Melbourne sale, March 9. Scotty Robertson joins me. Hello, mate.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Very well. Warm day here in lovely Wagga.
We just said that, but it's okay. We've got everything's good.
It is indeed. Yourself and Kath have got 13 yearlings going. Do you look forward to this time of year?
I do, actually, and I enjoy doing the yearlings. And like, they're not all ours, but you try to help people out that you meet along the way that have a passion for them and have a passion for breeding. So you try to help them out and do prep and that for them, and hopefully you do a good job.
Yep, and present them out. You must be wrapped with how they've all progressed. They're paraded beautifully today, and I say it's going to be a tease because we're only going to give snippets of each of the horses. We want people to come and make sure they get there at the sale complex to look at them, but you must be wrapped with how they're progressing.
You come here a month ago with Bardo and Chrissy, and we had a look at them all. We walked around and they were in the paddock rolling around in the mud and in the dust and everything else like that. And to see how they've come today and come to hand today, it gives you a thrill, and that the job and that you do, and what we talked about before is you see horses that change so much, and they get to a point where they just change overnight, and that's the real thrill of doing it. And it's not always, when it's not your horse, you're not getting the result, the money for it in the end. So okay, yes, you get paid to do it, but the pleasure that you have for presenting someone else's horse and hopefully doing a good job. And the filly we talked to me, the Sing to Me Art Major one, like she just blossomed a week ago. She just come to hand a week ago. Coat started to come out. She started to have a pigarette and a squeal in the box, and just full of herself. And you say to the owners, I said, she's just about to come, and and she's just a beautiful filly. You had a look at her there today. She just walks nice, and she's a typical art major and just a lovely filly. We'll
touch on her in a sec. Beck's just driving out. We've got to say huge well done to her too, because she's had photos all day and then videos, and it's been a long day for her. But you can't do these without staff, can you? No,
and she's a beauty. She's the only one I employ. Like, I'll employ a few others up there on the day. I've got Megan coming back, and Jody and his Mrs. Brian are going to come and help us in Sydney as well. We've got 13. It's too many for us to do by ourselves, and hopefully we run off our feet.
Yep.
But she just does a great job, and she takes a lot of pride, and I just get out of the way because she tells me.
She does too. Anyone wondering? She definitely does. Right, we'll start this, as I said, virtual tease. This is not a yearling parade. We won't be going through each of those, but lot number 9. This is the Huntsville colt out of Revere Me. Revere Me, the filly last year, was sensational. This horse is a real cracker to look at, this horse here.
Mate, he's just a spitting image of her. I reckon if you pulled the picture up of her last year and put it up next to him today, there's not a lot of difference.
Deeper colour?
A little bit deeper colour. I think one white sock more and 2 testicles in behind, and that's about it.
Yeah, lovely horse. So stands up.
Stands up a lot of ground, moves well, not over heavy, but neither was she. Just for a big horse, he's very athletic, balanced, whatever you want to call it. He's just a horse that's well developed and well grown.
Anyone wondering, she has actually just gone to the breakers. Unfortunately for connections, they had a couple of issues. No one's fault, but she's actually made her way to the breakers now, so she won't be hitting the racetrack anytime soon, that's for sure. But hopefully, maybe the back end of this season or early next season for them. So, and we hope for the connections they have a good run. Lot number 23. Now this is the Art Major filly, Sing to Me. I've written there pretty. It's again out of that Excuse Me, that same family as we're talking with Revere Me. You've got Adore Me. You've got some cracking fit horses in this family. She's an Art Major. Imagine Me's out of the same family. You see, you get horses like Merlin, or as he's called over here, It's Merlin, but in the catalogue he's called Merlin. So I don't know what HRA are doing. I don't think anyone knows what HRA are doing. We won't worry about that one too much. But cracking filly, she's a lovely filly, racehorse potential, but broodmare potential as well.
Art Major crosses work really well with that family as well, as Better's Delight and everything else. But she, as you said, she's just a lovely filly, and she's just come to hand, and she's going to continue in coming to hand. She's just feeling well within herself, and she just moves good. And how do you get into that family? The only way you can do is go and buy a filly like her. And I think she's the only filly in Sydney. I think there's 5 out of that family in Sydney, but I think she's the only filly.
Okay, yep.
And so if you want a filly, you want an Art Major, because we know what they're going to do as broodmares, and they're doing as broodmares. I just think she's just a ripper.
Yeah, and you're right, you can't get into those families. And we mustn't forget, too, the two best horses, or two of, I shouldn't say the best, because I'm going to get in trouble for that comment, but two of the best horses going around. They went around the other night, Don Hugo and Merlin, both by Art Major, so don't forget the job he's able to continually do year in, year out.
Oh, he's going to leave a legacy, and like, okay, his racehorses have been a legacy for him and stuff like that, but his broodmare is going to be the future of him, and that's what she is. She's going to be a racehorse and then a broodmare.
Lot number 28, this is the Down by the Seaside colt, first of your Seaside colts. This is out of Sophie Stenning. This is out of that Frith family. I mean, this is a real Riverina horse. I'm sure you've had a lot of people come out and check him out.
Good thing you said that name, because I can't pronounce it properly 1,000 times, saying Frith or what is whichever way everyone wants to pronounce it.
Wow, not many times I get something right and other people don't.
That's what I said. So just the same. He is a stunning animal. And if anyone can come up to me and say he is not a great animal, I'll buy him a beer.
Yep.
And prove that they're wrong. He's just a beautiful animal. I've got so many good colts over this year that it's unbelievable. But to be able to say he is a stunning animal, I don't think it's an underestimation.
Yeah. That is lot number 28. This is lot number 32 now. This is another of your Seasides. I'm happy to show you my notes here at the top. Good type, backside average. That's what I wrote 3 weeks ago. Hasn't he, or 6 weeks ago, whatever.
Yeah.
Hasn't he progressed?
Yeah.
And he's just a beautiful. I actually had to go up and give him a pat like afterwards, and the closer you get to this horse, the more you'd fall in love with him, lot 32, wouldn't you?
Well, the thing is, like, as I said to you, he's a big dope. And I can say that honestly because I own a share of him and everything else like that. And you put him on the walker and you wind the walker up, and all the other ones are struggling, and he's got his head up on the front of the walker. He free leg paces in the walker, and he just goes and goes and goes, and he's built up. But at the end of the day, he's another one from that excuse me family that is just, who knows when the next one's going to drop. And he is just a lovely horse. As I said, you go to walk him from here to the car, he wants to do it flat out, you try to hold him up, he trips over, flogs his ears off, just about that, but put him on the walker and let him run. He can run. He
is as happy as there is. And of course, Magnificent Storm, and I've highlighted that horse there. This is one for the West Australians. He actually has a bit of that Magnificent Storm look about him, doesn't he? And he's got that colour, and
he's just a nice type. He's developing, and this is where you get caught out, because we're talking about the Art Major filly, and then you come to this horse, and all of a sudden he's blossoming now, but he's a week to 2 weeks after where she was.
Yep.
And so she's come up earlier. And now he'll probably be on the weekend, next weekend, he'll probably be that little bit better again. But here's the thing, that's where they are, and he's a nice colt.
Magnificent horse to look at. Lot number 61, this is the Lather Up filly out of the Tintin American Mare American Classic. Lather Up now starting to get the job done. Calexico won here a couple, or it might have been longer than that ago. I think he went a 54.9 around here for Damien Wilson. And then we've also got Debbie Lincoln in New Zealand, who's doing a great job as well. Ray Green and those are pretty confident. You can turn it off, or you're just going to let it run?
No, I'm going to let it run, because that's rule number one, when you're doing an interview or whatever. It's probably some Jake Stockton or someone like that trying to G me up or something like that.
She's not overly big. We're not going to hide from the fact of that, but she's a lovely put-together filly. But I was looking at it. Undercover Lover, from memory, was not an overly big horse.
I had a little filly run 3 2-year-olds last year. I sold a few years ago, called Peace Out. Made the British Crown, made the New South Wales, made the thing. Right, she's a spitting image.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, so, but am I saying she's going to be a good horse? I don't know with this filly. She's surprised me how well she's actually come up for the prep, because when I got her out of the box, and I walked around and I took her back in, and I said, yeah, no, this ain't the best horse I've ever bred. But you look at her now, she's catching up to the other one, she's developing, so who knows?
Yeah, and he is getting the job done too.
He's starting to get the job, and it's the right cross. Like, it's a grandson of Bettis Delight over that Arts Place Mach 3 type line, so Tintin America in there gives you more direct scooter in, so who knows? Yeah,
he's done an awesome job, Tintin in America.
He's done a great job.
He's a much maligned stallion, so yeah, that's for sure. Lot 64, this is down as a brown colt. He's black as I've ever seen. Lot 64 is by Tall Dark Stranger out of Anahita. He's got a 3x3 of Art Major. He's just got something... 3x3 of Art Major, and then also the Arts Place there. Majida, Life on the Beach, tick, tick, tick. And what a spunky little horse.
He's not an over tall horse. He's a very solid horse. He moves, he's just like, he does his work so lazy. He's the upside
Walk
to
good
him.
out on the grass though, like in front of us now, he was awesome. Like he looked great.
What I mean by doing anything lazy, it's like, put me on the walker, take me for a walk. Everything, I do it easy. Everything's just easy to him. So he's a lovely black horse. He's just got a good, great nature about him. He's never kicked, he's never bitten, he's never done nothing that he shouldn't do. I said to you last time when I was here, he's just a gentleman, and that's truly what he is.
You have a couple of Captain Treacherous colts. The next one is lot number 105. This is for Lone Oak Equine. Out of the Better's Delight mare in Delightful Me, which is not actually related to that Me family, not directly anyway. But of course you've got Kanina Provlima, who's just doing a magic job for connections right at the minute.
Yeah, just doing a super job. He's a lovely colt. As I said to you, when you come here and you looked at him, and he's another one that's just blossomed over the last couple of weeks.
He has caught up, hasn't he?
He's caught up. It's taken a lot of grain and a lot of work and a lot of extra handling to do it, to get him there. But if you look at him now, look at him in a couple of weeks' time when we get to Sydney, he's just going to be a super type.
They're so keen on him. People are so keen on him. I've seen a few treacherouses. You know why? He's doing the job on the racetrack. He throws a nice type. That's why people are keen on him.
I think when you look back, I think if we look at the King, when we call Better's Delight the King, I think last year was the first time in just about 20 years, 2 generations, that another stallion has knocked him off in New Zealand as Horse of the Year, Stallion of the Year. And I think Treacherous did it last year. I'm not 100%. This is just from what I've read and heard, so whether things have changed or not. But he's done it on probably a quarter of the numbers, or even less than a quarter of the numbers. His stats in Australia and New Zealand and around the world are phenomenal. He doesn't have the number of foals every year, and he's just doing a great job.
Yeah. Lot number 143, and this horse has got to have a soft spot towards you, and I think a lot of people in New South Wales, but I think they've already sold so well, the Sons of Kings of Swing, or sorry, shouldn't even say Sons of King of Swing, progeny of King of Swing. And then of course you've got the great New South Wales family, Hazel's girl, that Miss Hazel family, I'm Amy Lee, like it's a real New South Wales family this, but King of Swing, they've sold everywhere, right across the eastern seaboard, across overseas in New Zealand, and people are very, very keen on him, and he throws a beautiful type.
I don't own a cent of this horse, don't even own a hair of this horse. I sent the people a message, I said, well, what are you doing selling this horse? Because he's like the other bloke. He's a stunning individual, you've got to have a look at him. He's just a natural horse that will just go to the races and win races, and you just can't knock the family, and you can't knock him as a type. Yep. And that's as simple as that. He's just, even the smarties that have come out and looked at him have just said, he's just a great looking horse. Yeah. And that's what he is, a great looking horse, a great moving horse. He's actually bigger than he looks, but he's long, and he's just got a great nostril, great head, great eye. And he's another one without a mean bone in his body for a colt. He wants to be your mate. Yep.
Lot 158 for the Crockers. Sunbeach Somewhere out of the Always Virgin mare, Innocent Crocker. You got Major Crocker, Adam Crocker. Yeah, this is another one that I suppose the South Australians, we could turn around and say, we'll get these guys involved if you like. But it's a family that's right across Australia.
It's just been a great family. I think Arathusa Lass. Can't say truth, but I can say Arathusa Lass. So there we go. She's 10 from 10. The next mare. This mare's first foal's gone to the races. He'll win next year as a 3-year-old. This bloke's a better type than the other bloke. He's a January 2 foal. So anyone that wants any connections to America should be buying this horse, should be looking at this horse, because he's just developed so much. His bum and his back, from when you saw him a month ago in the paddock and in the dust, he's just developed into a beautiful animal. He's a little bit immature than a couple of the others, but that's 2 January. That's not got nothing to do with anything else. Yeah, just where he's at. Just where he's at, his birth date. He's got 12 months to get there before he can race. Yep. So he's got plenty of time. He's got plenty of time. Lot number 160.
as well about this. We've got the New South Wales aged mare of the year in Island Banner. She's a daughter of Rock and Roll Heaven. We're talking about King of Swing. You got to go back to Mainland Banner, right through the family. Forget all that. Look at him as a type. And he's just a cracker, isn't he?
I own this bloke. I love this bloke. Now, let's move on to the next one. Just keep on showing the video.
He is a lovely boy, though, isn't he?
He's an early foal, so he's going to be bigger than the other ones and stronger than the other ones.
We'll go back to 171. This is the last year down by the seasides. The colt out of Layla Tola. Did I go right?
No, Layla Tote.
Layla Tote. I went wrong the first time. What I did say, when we hear that first visit, we said cracker. And he's only gone forward, hasn't he, this horse? He's a lovely horse, well put together.
He's a beautiful, beautiful colt. If you look at He's a Dude, and if you cross He's a Dude and Escape Artist together, you get him. One with Escape Artist is a little bit bigger. He's a Dude was a little bit small and solider. This bloke is right in the middle of them. Yeah. And he's just a beautiful, beautiful colt. I think matching Seaside to her has just been a we don't know yet, but a blessing, because he's just come up with such a quick-moving little colt, yep. And he just a magic horse to look at.
You've said that about him. He's got a bit of fast twitch about him. Everything he does is quick.
Quick, does it quick. Yeah. And look, he's a cheeky little bugger.
Yep.
But he does it all quick, and he always is. Like, he's a lot of mischief in him, like, inquisitive in him, and that's, Escape Artist was the exact same as that. They just do things and they work things out, how to do things, like they're half human type things, and he's just a beautiful colt.
Lot 193 is the Captain Crunch out of the Betters Light Mare in Moe Girl. Beautifully related horse, Elmac, Miss Strides and All-American Lover. You've got 2-year-old of the year, 4-year-old of the year. You'll have a 3-year-old in the year with one of these other ones here, somewhere along those lines. Winners all the way through. Beautiful filly, beautifully bred filly. Beautiful filly to look at. So easy on the eye, isn't she?
You probably wouldn't have said that 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Do you want to know the truth? I'll be honest, because you can see what I wrote there. Common.
But you've got to be truthful when you're looking at a horse, and then you look at, and then you got to adjust your prep and everything else like that to get them out. But she is just now a striking filly, and she moves so easily across the ground, and she's pretty easy to do things with. She can get a little bit temperamental at times. Doesn't like the flies. But just a magic filly from a magic family. And
Crunch has done a great job. Crunch gets maligned, but Crunch has done a good job.
Oh mate, they're happy to bag Seasides. They're happy to bag Crunches if they don't come out and leave temp champions. Let's go back to Western Hanover, 3rd season before he left a good horse.
Yeah.
Betters Light and no one, all the studs had the chance to get him. Woodlands are the only ones brave enough to take him, and look what happened.
Yeah.
People.
Patience.
And it's the same way. You looked at 4 horses here that were in the paddock 4 weeks ago. They come into work 4.5 weeks from sale day from the paddock to the stable. So those horses over there have been in there about 2.5, 3 weeks. Now, you just got to have patience and work them and work with them and stuff like that. You don't have to be a genius and just go out and get them in and lock them up for 10, 15 weeks and come out and say, I've got the biggest, strongest, beautifulest one.
Yep.
They come to hand, and that's the thing. You still got to do the job. You still got to do the time, and it's like breaking a horse in and whatever else it is. They still got to have X amount of weeks, but they don't have to have X amount of weeks in a box.
No, and they come to hand, and it's quite funny. That's a nice little segue for this last horse here, lot number 202, because he was one of those ones out in the paddock. This is the King of the Swing out of Northern Velocity, a Mach 3 mare herself. Again, another of these families, Northern Velocity herself, $188,000 in stake money. Only had the 3 foals. But you got Pembroke Benny, Pembroke Caesar. It's got a great pedigree. I'm telling you, if either myself or the girls have edited this video up right now, we've got him just standing, how he stood for us out there, and it's just, look at me, isn't it?
I said to everyone, I had 10 colts this year, and pick the best one, pick the worst one, pick any of them, and you can just go out and grab one and say, this is the best one. And he's the same. And she's got, Blake Fitzpatrick's got the Tall Dark Stranger filly last year. She's been to the trials. She might even be qualified now, I'm not sure. But she goes quite well. He quite likes her. The one from the year before, the McWicked, has had more issues unrelated to him that have happened.
Yep.
And it's holding him back, but he's back in work, and Gary Barton seems to think that he's a nice colt. I just think he's another one like what we've talked about. He's just another, probably been blessed this year that I've had 10 colts and 10 colts that look like those 10 colts.
Yep. Can't forget King of Swing. I think he was $3.3 million in stakes, 3-time Miracle Mile winner. But it also has one of the best pedigrees going, especially in New Zealand. That Better Twist family, it's a family that we saw just recently. People wanted to get a part of it, and that it's a family that people want to be a part of. He's leaving a type. He ticks a lot of boxes, and it's exciting. I think it's exciting the way he is selling this year. Hopefully they can continue on.
I think they're just good types. I think I said to you when they came down, I bred back to him, and like the thing I like about him is they're very muscular, they're very athletic, as in being muscular and athletic.
The old stick microphone now too, because the heat unfortunately is getting to a lot of things. As I said, it's a virtual tease. The footage, we've just got back walking those horses around. That's the idea. We want people to come and see them. When do you arrive in Sydney?
We get up there on Thursday lunchtime. We'll have a shower, give them a shower, and then start parading whenever people want to come. They want to come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no matter. We'll get them out for them and they can have a look at them. And everything at the moment's going pretty good. Beck's done a super job helping us out. There'll be plenty of us up there to get people out, get them out for people, and it should be a good weekend.
Friday is parade day. It's a busy day. A lot of people think they go there. Don't forget Saturday. Saturday works pretty good. And look, if you're not thinking about going to the races, or even if you are and you've got a little bit of time up your sleeve, that Saturday afternoon, about 12 noon, everyone sorts to start to vacate out. It's a good time if you want to come and have a good inspection of these horses. It makes plenty of time, doesn't it?
I think you got to do both. I think you got to do Friday, have a look at the horses, walk around in the parade. I'm big on the parade because it gets the horses out and walking, and people can have a look at them. They can tick what ones they want to look at. But I just think that you got to go around and have a good look at a lot of them. And then Saturday you can come along and get the ones out of the boxes that you want to have a look at and have a good go over them, why they're not being rushed. And there's not a lot of other people around to look at them at the time, and you can take your time and not give away your secrets or whatever you want. But it gives you a chance to come back a couple of times to have a look at them.
Have a good look at them. Plenty to look at too. Robert, thank you. Thanks to CAF too. The air conditioning's on here, but as I said, it's just one of those days. The cameras aren't enjoying it much at all. But going to Tassie tomorrow, mate, I don't think I'll have to worry as much there. It'll be a nice change for me.
You've got shorts on today. You won't tomorrow. I can guarantee you that.
It'll be all good. Robert, thank you. We look forward to catching you there at Nutrien on, as sale day is March the 9th, but you'll be there, I'm going to say from the 6th off the top of my head, because the Friday is the 7th, which is parade day. So make sure you get there to Warwick Farm, but give Robbo a call. The races are on too very shortly, so this won't go up until after Wagga tomorrow. But if you're in the area, come and see Robbo before he goes there and have a good look at this high quality draft. Thanks very much.